It's about getting into schools and talking to young people because, you know, I know that people can change. And it's about talking to people and getting them to understand and perhaps step back from violence and prejudice and whatever. And we just need to work together and keep on the good fight there.
Absolutely. Hey there, guys. We are ecstatically happy to announce that we are associated with the Sophie Lancaster Foundation.
The times are changing, and with the unfortunate death of Sophie, those changes have made a massive impact for the future. If Sophie was with us still today, I can guarantee what you are doing will still be reaching so many lives of young teenagers, young adults, and those who wish to be as different as possible. So thank you very much.
To find out more about this incredible foundation and all the work they do, and more importantly, how you can help, head on over to www.sophielancasterfoundation.com.
Hey, this is Adam Gubman, and you're listening to the Chronicles of Podcast with Tom and Jamie. Be prepared for a lot of cat butts.
Well, like another level, let me lick you up and down with my ass, boys. Welcome to hashtag WBW, Way Back Wednesday. And these are the Chronicles of Hayden Cockrill. Why Hayden this week, Jamie?
Oh, God, bear me 2 seconds. I need to compose myself after that intro. Right, why Hayden this week? Well, this Friday, we have comic book writer Kurt Amaker joining with us.
Yeah,
so we thought, why not throwback to our good friend, the comic creator, Hayden Cockrill. This is wonderful. I love this one.
It is great. And guys, if you haven't actually checked out Hayden's comic, you really should. It's really good. The idea behind it, the precipice of the idea that he had, it's just great. I love it.
This interview came about originally. It was back from our superhero bar fight days. I put a post out there and was like, who do you want to come on the show, talk about any comics that are coming up, because it's a superhero show. And Hayden messaged me saying, I have my new book coming out now. Love to talk about it. And by God, did this boy sell this book to me. He sold this book to the point that this happened. And I own it. I actually went out and brought it, and it is absolutely incredible. And I cannot recommend you all enough to go and buy this book. It is amazing.
For those that are listening on the audio, with the fact that Jamie just threw that, I never actually mentioned the book's name. It's called The Crimson Six. So, yeah. It's called The Crimson Six. Go pick it up. The characters are all based on rock music, but they're all different types of rock music, and their powers are based on that type of rock that they actually are, which I think is a genius idea. But he also, on his social media, posts the adventures of Metalhead as well, which I quite like and thoroughly enjoy as well. They're brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But obviously, we weren't aware at the time of recording that Hayden is of the religious and the Christian faith, and we swore a lot. So I do apologise massively to all of Hayden's people that are listening to us right now. Very sorry about that. So, we've realised now. So ignore the start of this bit and then just enjoy the rest, all right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. But this is absolutely superb. We can't recommend this. Hayden is working on a sequel to The Crimson Six, and I am so excited for it. I cannot wait to read it. The man is incredibly talented. Like, check him out on all his social medias. Like, his artwork's incredible. I see massive things for this guy in the future because, really, really talented guy. And this might also be possibly the shortest interview we've ever done.
Yes, it is probably one of the shortest interviews we've done, but we'll have him back again in the future when the second book comes out, and we'll do it all over again and really doing some serious justice. So, guys, go buy The Crimson Six right now. Go check it out. Go follow him on Instagram and Facebook. Go and we'll look at the adventures of Metalhead. And Jamie!
Yes, sir.
Any final words at all for the audience?
Just a massive thank you to the audience for listening, and a massive thank you to Hayden for joining us. This was so much fun, sir. And I will say, for people who are watching this on the YouTube, I'm pretty certain my video isn't working on this one, and I think it's just you and Hayden.
Yeah, but this was back before we actually had cameras and whatnot. And actually this shit properly. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, these are the Chronicles of Hayden Cockrill.
Yes.
Sweet. Okay, I haven't used Skype for a really long time, so.
Yeah, it's because we're old fuckers and that's how we do things still. We don't move with the times anymore. We just went, we'll stick with this, it's fine.
Dude, I get it. I tried to use Zoom the other day. I had no idea what I was doing.
I think you have to pay for that, don't you?
I was able to use it for free, but I think there's like a business subscription that you might have to pay for.
Oh, sweet. Okay. Well, there you go. So again, showing me age. I'm only mid-30s. Look what's going on. It's all this technology. I don't get it.
Just so you know, Hayden, I'm not being rude. If I try and use the webcam, my laptop just decides to fucking die on me. So,
No problem. Nice to meet both of you, though.
And you, my friend. Thank you for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Like, this is my very first interview, so.
So we'll look after you. Don't worry. We will look after him, won't we, Jamie?
Yeah, we'll be gentle.
So how's things, man? What's going on?
Things are pretty good. Just dealing with that quarantine life. Everything's kind of shut down, so just trying to survive. What's
It's literally our government's just gone. Yeah, do what you want now. No one cares anymore. Yeah. So our beaches have been flooded and fucking people are out partying in parks and it's just been absolutely mental.
Dang. Yeah, ours. So we started doing that, and then our case went straight up. Like our cases just like went exponentially up, and so now if you go outside, you have to wear a mask, or else you'll be fined like thousands of dollars.
Wow.
So it's mandatory.
What?
It's mandatory to wear a mask. You have to wear one.
Yeah. Some people aren't. Like some people are protesting it, but I don't want to have to pay the government a whole bunch of money, so I'm just gonna do whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm broke.
Bless you. So how's lockdown been treating you, man?
It's pretty good. Luckily, I mean, being able to get outside is always good, and things are starting. Like, even though we have to wear masks, things are opening up, so we're allowed to go to restaurants and stuff. Like, I don't know how you're supposed to eat at a restaurant with a mask on. That's I don't know how that's supposed to work, but other than that, it's been pretty nice. Like, more stuff is opening. It's just. I'm to be honest with you, I don't get out a whole lot anyways. So quarantine is almost like my regular lifestyle. So, it's like,
It's good. My brother's exactly the same. He was he's loving life because he gets to sit in his underwear every day, play his PS4 and get paid for it. So,
dude, there you go. he's taking lemons, making lemonade, man. He's killing it.
Whereas I always want to smash my face against a wall. So. But there you go. That's how we. This is how we do things over here. So we should probably actually introduce our guest, shouldn't we, Jamie? Really?
It would help, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So welcome to Superhero Bar Fight, Mr. Hayden Cockrill. I am saying that surname right, aren't I?
Yep.
Wonderful. Whereabouts are you from?
I'm from Washington State in the U.S.
Look at that. From Washington State, and in Tom's wearing the Daniel Bryan hoodie. Look at that.
This is how we do it. So obviously no one can see that I'm wearing a Daniel Bryan hoodie, but obviously it's an audio podcast. But it's all good. We can make these points. It's fine.
There you go. Now we all know.
Yeah.
So obviously we've asked you on here today because yesterday was a pretty big day for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, the last couple of days, I launched my very first graphic novel.
That is amazing. You added me on Facebook from a post I put into a comic book group, basically saying, "Does anyone want to come on our podcast, talk about your stuff?" And then yesterday, I saw your post about your book, saw the artwork, and I was like, "Holy shit! Let's message this guy." I didn't look into it, nothing. I literally went, "I'm messaging this guy. That is fucking awesome. It looks amazing." So obviously. Clearly a fan of heroes and comics and all that stuff. Where did that come from? Is that some from childhood or?
Yeah, that's from childhood. I would say when I was 4, I saw the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man in our discount theater, and that thing changed my life, dude. I was in love with Spider-Man, and just ever since then, I've just been drawing, and I've always loved comic books too. I know a lot of people will watch superhero movies but don't really love the comic books. I actually like the comic books more than the movies a lot of the times because I think the stories are a lot better and like the worlds are a lot bigger to build on and stuff. But it's just always been there, and I just really, dude, I'm just like a hardcore nerd. Like, but yeah.
So, do you say you saw Tobey Maguire Spider-Man when you were 4?
Yes.
How old are you?
I'm 21.
God, I feel old now. So, what actually made you realise you could do this? Like, where'd you get your start? Was it you were doodling one day and your friend were like, dude, that's really fucking good? Or was it?
Yeah, it was. So pretty much, but like I've been drawing since I was younger. So I actually come from a family of very talented artists. Like my grandma, she would draw like portraits of people, and she got hired to draw murals on like grocery store windows. And like my grandpa on my other side was an artist, and my dad like can draw cars and all that stuff. And so I had like a somewhat natural ability, not great, but just like motivation. And I just started working on it. And as I got older, more people were like, hey, I'll like pay you to draw it. And then once that started happening, I was like, oh, and I had other people in my life who were like very encouraging, and like people who like came alongside me and like helped me realize it. And that was a possibility. But yeah, just basically other people's encouragement, because in my mind, my art, I don't like my art, but like other people like it. So there we go.
How can you not like it? I don't understand. How can you not like it? It's unbelievable. I was looking at some earlier. Is it the Crimson 6 that you were doing? Yeah, like holy shit, man. So basically, right, if I draw, it's like, you know how you like draw a tree and you put a cloud on it to make it look like an actual tree and bring it down again, and then put a sun in the corner and a little house, and that's basically as far as my ability goes in there. So that's some serious talent, man. Like I it blows my mind. It really blows my mind.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. I think well, first of all, dude, be proud of yourself that you can draw a landscape, man. But, you gotta get that sun in there and the clouds and all that. No, and I think, like, for me, I think the reason why I don't like my art is something I actually need to work on is I compare myself to people who have been drawing longer than I've been alive. Like, I'll compare myself to people like Greg Capullo or like people like Jim Lee and all that, which they've been drawing longer than I've like been on this earth. So I think that's the reason why like I don't like my art, because it doesn't look like a veteran, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't really compare yourself to people that have been around, you know, longer than you and stuff. Like, it's just, just keep going, man. It's incredible. Just keep it fucking going. You'll be like them one day. That's right first. Fuck it. I'm saying it right here, right now. Watch out for Hayden Cockrill, motherfuckers.
But to be fair, I saw your picture of Batman Beyond, and dude, it's fucking amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Compare to Jim Lee, because it's incredible, and like Jim is. I was going to say what are your inspirations, but I guess you just kind of answered that one, really.
Yeah, I have inspirations, like I have tons of them. Like I'm a big Todd McFarlane fan, so like Todd McFarlane actually went to the college in my hometown, so that's one of the reasons why. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I was like, oh, this is possible, because the guy was like so close to home, you know. But like I have so many, but Greg Capullo and Jim Lee are my dudes. That's my main dudes.
Jim is amazing.
He is.
You literally can't fault Jim Lee's art. So, look, before we talk about the book, I saw on your page something that really, really amused me. It captured my imagination. That was the Adventures of Metal Dude.
Oh, yeah.
Where did that idea come from? Because it's just fucking glorious.
Well, thank you. So the idea for Metal Dude came from, so I'm friends with Pastor Bob Beeman, who he's like the heavy metal pastor, who I don't know if you've heard of like bands like Stryper or like those old 80s like hair.
Yeah, I know Stryper.
Yeah. So Pastor Bob actually helped start Stryper way back in the day. And
wow.
Yeah. And I became friends with him because I watched his videos because he has a YouTube channel. So I messaged him one day and then we just became friends. And one day he was like, so he actually gave me the idea for the Crimson 6 way before Metal Dude. And he gave me the idea and was like, hey, if you can make a comic book that somehow incorporates heavy metal and like each character is a different genre of metal, I'll publish it for you and we'll promote it. I was like, sweet. So then as I was working on that, he was like, hey, I have an idea I want you to do like art for my Facebook account. And I think it'd be really cool to do something like Adventures of Metal Dude. So I was like, okay, sweet. So we did Adventures of Metal Dude, and basically just like a funny cartoon strip of just regular things that metal people have to deal with, you know, and just like funny comedy thing, you know, like so like the one about like the long hair or whatever, you know, you're trying to eat your food, but you don't
That
want to
cracked
hair
me
out
up.
'cause you don't want to look like a yoga instructor. So
That one and Metal Gigs in 2020 just absolutely made me raw. It was so funny. So obviously we're talking about metal. What bands are you into?
Oh man, so I'm obviously like the classics. So like obviously like Metallica, Megadeth, Iron Maiden, like obviously those ones too. But like I would say like modern bands, I've really been getting into like As I Lay Dying since they've come back, and just bands like I'm into like metalcore a lot lately. I never was, but I'm very like into it now. You know what I mean? But I really like, I don't know if you consider them metal, but Coheed and Cambria, I'm really into. Yeah.
My boy. My boy.
I love the fact you were listing the old band you're in, and I'm like, oh, my boy. And then you're listening to the new band you're in, Tom's like, oh, my boy.
Yeah. It's good.
Dude.
Coheed, unbelievable.
Oh my gosh. Aren't you just jealous of his hair, man?
Well, I mean, I haven't got any, so... yes.
Sorry. I have hair, and I'm still jealous of his hair, man.
It's incredible. I mean, that voice to begin with is ridiculous. And after Good Apollo and Burning Star 4, I started to lose interest a bit. I don't know. Me personally, I find them to get a bit, it's not same. I don't know what the word is, but the first 3 albums, incredible, absolutely incredible. And I just literally I lost interest after that. So,
yeah. Well, their sound definitely did change as it got more. You know what I mean? Like after Good Apollo, their sound kind of took a different type of, it almost like a more rocky feel. Whereas I feel like the first 3 were very more, I still like all of them. Like my favorite album is The Afterman, but I get what you mean though. Like their style definitely did make a shift after that album.
Doesn't he do his own comic book as well in relation to the music? Isn't it linked in some way?
Yeah, he does the Amory Wars. So each album is based off the comic book that he makes for it.
It's incredible. It is just, unbelievable. Genius. Absolute genius. Wes, you need to get on this, man.
Yeah.
I know a couple of their songs, but I don't know a fat lot by them, to be fair. I probably should listen to more. Like, I'm stuck in the 80s with my music. So, you know, Kiss is my favourite band in the whole world. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Kiss and Motley Crue, that's generally what I end up listening to. So.
Oh, so you're like a glam
yeah, I listen to all sorts of music, but that's my bread and butter.
Dude, I don't blame you. There's some good stuff. I was into Def Leppard a long time ago.
Def Leppard are great as well.
Yeah.
So obviously we've brought you on to talk about the book. So tell us all about it. Tell us about the Crimson Six. I purposely didn't look into this because I wanted you to tell me about it because I was just blown away by the art.
Okay, so I'm not great at the elevator pitch. This is the first time, so I'm just gonna try to. If I just get long-winded or something and it sounds stupid, just let me know. But basically, the whole concept behind it, just to boil it all down, is there's basically like the Grim Reaper has been around for centuries, and he's like had a plan for a long time to finally wipe out humanity. And now, and since he's been around for centuries, he's been planning it every century. But with every century, there's a team called the Crimson Six, made of 6 superhuman warriors, I guess, in order to try to prevent him from doing so. And the Crimson Six basically takes up modern day and the team of this century. And it's the time that the Grim Reaper finally is ready to execute his final plan. And so the Crimson Six has to basically overcome him and stop him from doing it, or else the whole world goes away. It's basically, that's the most simple way I can put it. And then the metal comes in the sense of like, it's very inspired by metal. So I made each member of the Crimson Six represents a different genre of metal. So like I have one character's name is Speed and Beauty, and she represents like speed metal and thrash metal, and so she can like run super fast and stuff like that. And I have Magnus the Sword, who's like a giant black metal Viking type guy. But it's just stuff like that where, yeah.
That's such a cool idea. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Did you write and draw the book?
I did. The idea was given, like I said earlier, the idea for everything was given to me by Bob Beeman, Pastor Bob Beeman. But then I turned the idea into like I wrote it and drew it and lettered it. And we had a guy, I had people help edit it, and I had a guy help me format it for Amazon and all that, because I have no idea what I'm doing with that. But yeah, everything else, boom.
21 years old. And no offense, but you're that talented, I fucking hate you.
Let's not insult the guests now, Jamie.
It's such a cool idea, though. I absolutely love it. I do fully intend to get a copy of this book because I genuinely really want to read it. It looks awesome. So,
well, thank you.
Obviously, the pastor gave you the book, gave you the idea. No, is what you've done that idea, or is there things you've put into it or whatnot?
So, basically, the idea that he gave me was to make a book based on metal, and then also to make the characters based on metal, and also to make one of the villains a pop star. So yeah. So he gave me the bare bones. So I was like, okay, how can I work with this, and how can I make it in a way that actually makes sense, So I was like, oh, okay. So what I'll do is because I feel like I didn't want to make it corny to be where oh, heavy metal guys, you know what I mean? Where it's we must we must overcome with the power of music. I didn't want to do anything like that. So instead, I just for visually, I made it very heavy metal inspired visually, and I tried to make the story something that you could find in the storyline of a concept album, from a metal band or something like that. And then for the pop star, what I did is I was like, okay, so what if it'd be interesting to see if what if the Grim Reaper is somehow using pop stars to hypnotize people through songs to cause them to actually want to kill each other, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, I'll just do that.
It's so clever. So I mean, what do you think is it going to be a series?
I want it to be. It depends on if it does well enough to warrant for me to put time into. I already have the whole second one plotted out, but I want it to be a series. Yeah.
So is it going to be one villain's a rapper, then there's a grime artist, so a DJ? That'd be amazing. The concept and the idea of it's absolutely amazing. So I'll definitely be purchasing one as well. Obviously, we're here to push you and promote you as well. Because this goes worldwide. We don't know who listens to it. We just know the countries it's been listened to in. So,
okay, gotcha.
Fingers crossed that people fuck, I need to check this bad boy out. Yeah, push me one of these bad boys.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that.
Anything we can do. We try. We do our best.
So dude, what made? Oh, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say, what made you jump in straight into a book instead of single issues,
Mostly just cost, and because the problem is if you want to do single issues, the most effective way to do it is either to build a Kickstarter, but then only release one issue every couple of months if you're an independent, just because to get the funds and to get it out there to be able to publish and all that. Whereas for me, I personally don't really like single issues, to be completely honest, because I have I just need to finish it. So I lean more towards the book type style anyways, and then also too, since we published it through Amazon, who does print on demand, so I don't have to pay for my own stock, so they only print what is purchased. But with that, you can't really do a minimum page, and then it would be kind of lame, so I just figured we put it all in one book and then send it out.
Makes sense. It's quite fascinating because we spoke to a gentleman a couple of weeks ago, and he's doing the whole Kickstarter route. He's done one issue, then he's raising the funds. So it's amazing. You don't really realise just how many different avenues there is to go through to release a comic book. It's really quite fascinating.
Plus, you get single issues are $6 here, $6 there, $8 there, ridiculous amount of money just to get to read 5 pages. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I totally get the graphic novel front.
Yeah, well, that's what I was, especially because comic books are getting more, single issues are getting more and more expensive, it seems too. So it's man.
Yeah, totally agree with you there, man.
Yeah.
So what is next? Is it work on the second book? Is there any other projects you've got in mind?
So like I said, I am writing the second one. Even if nothing happens with it, I still want to write it, so at least I'll know how it goes. But while doing that, I do freelance art. It's kind of how I make my income. So I have Pastor Bob, he has a book that I'm going to help illustrate. It's not a comic book, but I'm just going to add illustrations to that. It's going to be called Seriously. And then I'm going to do that. And then just try, basically, I'm just going to see how things go, how well the book does. And that will determine a lot what's next. But it's hard to tell because I just released it 3 days ago. So it's, it's still early, but my hope is to be able to do a second one, but you never know.
Have you had much feedback on people before you released it or anything like that?
I had a small group of people read it. The people who did read it liked it, but you never know. You know what I mean? Like the people, like I had the guy who formatted it. He read it after he formatted it, and then he said he really enjoyed it, and he's like a huge comic book nerd. And I had the guy who edited it. He liked it, and he also helped me make it a little bit better. So, hopefully it goes good.
That's my. I really hope it does for you, mate, because it honestly looks incredible. No word of a lie. I literally saw the picture and was like, I'm messaging this dude right away because the art just blew me away. It is such a cool looking. I'm assuming that's the cover that you originally posted.
Yeah, that was the cover.
It's so cool, and considering it's only black, white, and red as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So the interior is just black and white. And then, but the front is black, white, and red. I'm actually working on possibly doing an ebook version and making it the interior black, white, and red because I don't have to pay extra for the color. Because the problem with Amazon, if I do color, I would have to sell the books for like $30 a piece, and no one's gonna buy that. So I might do an ebook that has the red on the inside.
Is the black and white a personal style choice, or is it?
It's a mix of personal style and just like necessity. Like since it's the first book, like I had to roll with whatever options I had. If it does well enough where I'm able to get a different avenue, I would love to do like color on the inside. But right now it's black and white, and also too, I kind of like it because it reminds me of like kind of like that brief period of time in the '80s when like TMNT came out and like the black and white boom and all that.
That's so cool. I love it. Right, we've got a little game we like to play with our guests.
All right.
Right, so first off, basically what we do on the show is me and Tom, we come together every week, we pitch a fictional character, a hero, and a villain. Okay. And then we discuss who's going to win. We literally don't tell each other who our characters are until we're on the show. So what we like to do, though, is to get our guests to decide who they think would win the previous fight.
Oh.
So, are you a South Park fan?
I don't really watch South Park a lot.
Oh, you might not know these people then, because it was the character Man Bear Pig from South Park.
Oh, okay.
Versus Orgasmo, which was a film by the makers of South Park several years ago. Do you know who they are?
I know who Man Bear Pig is. I don't know the other one.
Orgasmo is. How do we describe Orgasmo, Tom?
So I've actually noticed in the film, I just read about it and found it hilarious. Basically, he's a porno actor who turns into a superhero by creating a gun that makes people orgasm and ejaculate when they're shot. And then basically their testicles swell up and explode and that sort of thing.
Wow.
As you can see, we're a very serious podcast.
Yeah.
So, from what you know of Man Bear Pig versus what you know of Orgasmo, who do you think would win that one?
I'm going to say Man Bear Pig, just because I used to watch that show a long time ago, and I remember the episodes with Man Bear Pig, so I'm going to have to go Man Bear Pig.
See?
It's just the way it goes. Everyone said the same thing, I think.
I think everyone did, yeah. Everyone said Man Bear Pig, but when we had the episode, Tom actually won with Orgasmo.
Yeah.
Because we said that, Man Bear Pig can charge, but if he gets shot several times, and his balls are just going to explode.
Yeah. And you're going to have Man Bear Pig ejaculate everywhere. No one needs that.
Dang, man.
Amazing. So, what else we do as a little game is we get our listeners to give us some fantasy fights. Just make up two characters. Who do you think would win? And then we put them to the guests. So we've got 5 fights for you. So Ryan Williams has sent in Captain Planet versus Gorilla Grodd.
Oh. I'm going to say Gorilla Grodd because he can use mind control.
Yeah, that's where I would have gone. Are you in agreement there, Tom?
I love Captain Planet, but yeah, he'll get ruined.
This one amused me. I don't know. See, your youth is throwing me off though if you know these characters. Alf, do you remember Alf the alien?
I remember Alf.
Yes, versus Fozzie Bear from the Muppets.
Ooh. So I know who both of them are. I don't know anything about them though. I'm gonna say Alf because he's an alien.
That works. I can't imagine Fozzie Bear hurting anyone.
Well, no, he just talk you to death, wouldn't he?
Oh, waka waka waka.
No.
This one I absolutely love from one of our other hosts, Mr. Tom Bruno. Pinky and the Brain versus Rick and Morty.
Ooh. Oh man. I'm gonna say Rick and Morty because they seem to be able to get out of like every situation.
Yeah, the advantage has got to go to Rick because, it's Rick.
I was gonna say, did Pinky and the Brain ever actually succeed? Ever?
Yeah, I was gonna say
I don't think they did. And I definitely don't think that Pinky and the Brain ever turned themselves into a pickle and then ripped apart a rat, etc. Have you actually seen Rick and Morty, Tom?
Yeah, I watched it and I really didn't like it, so it's just really not for me.
See, I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, I don't understand why people love it so much. I'm a Simpsons guy. I like to stick to my natural, just stick to what I know. So yeah, Rick and Morty, I found I just don't get it. I don't know if that's just me or whatever, but I watched it and went, I just don't understand what's going on.
That's kind of how I am. It's like it's too dark for me. Like it has a really dark tone for a comedy show,
Yeah. It's probably the same as me, to be honest with you, because I'm not a big fan of like embarrassing comedies either. So I think I like just straight up ridiculous slapstick stupid shit.
No, I enjoy Rick and Morty. I think it's great, but I don't get why it's as popular as it is. It's good, but it's not that good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Anyway, Barney Rubble versus Barney from The Simpsons versus Barney the dinosaur. Triple threat match.
Oh. Well, I mean, I'm gonna say Barney, man. Like Barney the dinosaur.
I was gonna say, which one is free?
Yeah, I just realized that. Like, yeah, I'm gonna say the dinosaur. Because I mean, I feel like he hides he hides behind a mask. I feel like he could really tear some stuff up if he wanted to.
Yeah, he's probably like a massive meth addict that no one knows about.
No.
It's absolutely mental. Starts ripping the shit out of everyone.
Dang.
That's what
I went with Barney Rubble because he's from the Flintstones. They fucking ride dinosaurs.
Yeah, but I feel like he's also kind of like dumb though, isn't he? Like,
the man's got a point.
Like he's one of those like lovable dumb characters, a little bit.
Right, last one. I enjoy this one. Captain Cold versus Mr. Freeze.
Oh man, I'm gonna say Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, 100%.
Any reason?
Just smarter.
Smarter, yeah. I go with that. That was my thinking as well. He's got the brains behind him. He's not just, I'm going to nick something, so I'll freeze it.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much what. Well, that was all 5 of them. I loved it. I think we agreed on pretty much all of them. I like it.
Good.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? You wanted to push out there?
Not that I can think of. I think we've covered everything. That's pretty much all I've got going at the moment. I thank you so much for letting me be on here, though.
Tom, anything else on you?
The only thing was, so the graphic novel, is it only available in America?
So I checked it. I had to check it this morning. It's available in the UK. It's available. Pretty much the only places that I found that it's not available is Australia and Canada through paperback. So I have to figure that out. That's why I'm going to try to make an ebook so I can get it out in those areas. But other than that, we're good.
Oh, sweet. So I can that's fine. As long as I can grab a copy, I'm good.
Yeah, I checked it this morning. It's available in the UK. So we're good there. The only one, I have some friends in Australia who weren't able to get it. So that's why I'm trying to figure out an ebook solution to that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
That's amazing. Well, before we get out of it, plug any social media, plug anything. Tell us people where to get the book, etc., etc.
All right. So the book can be found at Amazon. The best way to find it is look up the Crimson 6, but also look up my name with it, Hayden Cockrill, just because it's a newer book. So it takes more specifics to find it. And you can follow my art on Instagram at What Is Hayden Drawing, and then my Facebook page is Hayden Cockrill page. And
amazing. That is awesome. And I seriously implore anyone listening to this, go check this stuff out, because honestly, the art is mind-blowing. It honestly blew me away. And I'm not just, sucking the guy's dick because I'm talking to him. It was amazing. It was so good. Hayden, thank you so much for coming on, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me once again. I really appreciate it.
Well, we'll get you shared out there. This goes out on Wednesday at 6 p.m. UK time. So we'll get you out there. We'll tag you in everything. We'll share everything. And you are one talented motherfucker.
Thank you.
So young and so talented. I kind of hate it.
Keep it going, man. Keep it going.
Will do.
Talking to the next Jim Lee here, folks.
No, not that. I wish.
Amazing. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good rest of your day, guys.
You too, man. Take it easy, man.
Cheers, man.
Peace.
See ya.
All right, is this thing on? Well, howdy doody, everybody. This is Braden Berry from Say We Can Fly, founder of Stay Cozy Clothing, your one-stop shop for the coziest, most fashionable hoodies, t-shirts, and more. Gosh, Mickey.
That's right, folks. And we're proud to say that we are now sponsoring
The Chronicles of Podcast. Ouch.
hosted by Tom and Jamie.
Like, you can get 10% off, man. That's right, Shaggy. Just use the special code, The Chronicles, at checkout.
Oh, boy.